A programming language is a computer language that is used by the programmer. A program written in machine language is also called machine code. Here we are going to use some symbolic notation so it can be understandable by the human being. The main advantages of natural language here is it allows the user to Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session. I am Revati, Faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysore. We are on the 8th session of computer software. In today's session, I am going to deal with type of programming language. Before going to start my today's session, I want to recall the things what I covered in my last session. In my last session, I discussed what is computer software. Under computer software, we studied types of software. In that, we studied what is application software and what is system software. Under system software, we studied what is operating system and the different programming languages. And we studied what is linker, what is loader, what is compiler, and what is interpreter. But in today's session, I'm going to deal with programming language. That means the type of programming language. Let's see what is programming language. Here, programming language is a computer language. That means computer is capable to understand only zeros and ones. So whatever the data or instruction we are going to feed into the computer system, that must be in the form of programming languages. So computer is a dummy machine that interacts or acts based on the input or instruction provided by the user. So whatever the instruction or information we are going to feed to the computer system, that must be written by using any one of the programming language. So that is itself computer language. So here a programming language is a computer language that is used by the programmer. So here programmer is nothing but the developer to communicate with the computer system. I repeat here that a computer is capable to understand only zeros and ones. So whatever the data or instruction you're going to feed in your computer system, that must be written by using any one of the computer programming language. So here the user, that means the developer or the programmer, uses programming language to communicate with the computer system. So here it is a set of instruction. I repeat, it is a set of instruction written in any specific language to perform specific task. So here computer language is nothing but a set of instruction written in any specific language. Here specific language is nothing but your programming language. Under programming language, we are going to get different kinds of programming language. So here the instructions are written by using any one of the programming language to perform some specific kind of task. So then what is instruction? Suppose think that I want to add two numbers. Then what is the instruction I want to give to my computer system? That is to read two numbers. So what is the first instruction? That read 2 numbers. Then what is the next instruction? That is add 2 numbers. Then what is the third instruction? Store the result in some variable. Then what is the fourth instruction? That is display the result. So these are the nothing but a set of instruction used to perform some specific task, and to write all these instructions we are going to use programming language. Moving further, type of programming language. Here we are going to get 3 different types of programming language, that is low level programming language, high level programming language and middle level programming language. Moving further, we are going to study what is low level programming language. So the name itself indicates that it is a low level programming language and the machine is capable to understand only zeros and ones. So here low level programming language that mainly deals with computer hardware and constraint. So here the low level language is a machine dependent programming language. So here the low level language is also called machine dependent language. So it is mainly depends on your computer architecture and the hardware of your computer system. So the process must run low level programs directly without the need of compiler and interpreter. That means in low level programming language we does not require any translator, because it is purely based on the machine independent and it is purely based on the binary instruction, that is in the form of zeros and ones. So whatever the program or whatever the instruction here written, that is in the form of binary, that is zeros and ones. So here we does not require any translator to translate your low level programming language into some other programming language. So here we does not require translator. That means we does not require compiler and interpreter to translate your low level programming language. So the programs written in low level language can be run very fastly. That means whatever the program or whatever the instruction that is written by using low level programming language is very fast compared to your other programming languages like high level programming language or middle level programming language. So the low level programs are further classified into 2 types, that is machine language and assembly language. I repeat, the low level language is further classified into 2 types, machine language and assembly language. Moving further, machine language. So here machine language is also a type of low level programming language and it is also called machine code or object code. So in machine language we are going to use zeros and ones. That means whatever the instruction we are going to feed in our computer system, that is written in the form of binary or hexadecimal. So here the machine language is easier to read because it normally displayed in binary and hexadecimal. That means whatever the instruction you're going to write, that is in the form of binary and hexadecimal. So it does not require translator, because whatever the instruction you're going to write, that is in the form of binary or hexadecimal, so no need to convert your machine language into some other programming language. So no need of compiler or interpreter. So here it does not require a translator to convert the programs because computer directly understand the machine language program. That means here the computer is capable to understand only zeros and ones, but in machine language, whatever the instruction or program we are going to write, that is in the form of binary or hexadecimal, so the machine can directly understand binary data. So here we does not require any translator to translate the program. So in machine language, whatever the data or instruction, here data may be a text or image or character that is represented in the form of binary, and that is the input to the computer system or the machine language, and what is the output, that is the text or message or character is the output. Consider the example. Think that I want to provide input is A for computer system. So what I will do? A computer system can capable to understand only binary. That means in machine language, it is capable to understand only binary data. Think that now I want to convert this A into binary. So what is the hexadecimal number for A? That is 65. So now I want to convert this 65 into binary data. So what I will do? I'm going to divide by 2. That is 2 3s are 6, then 2s are 4, then 1 is remainder. Then once again divide this number by 2, that is 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12, then remainder is 0. Once again divide this number by 2, that is 2 8s are 16, remainder is 0. Once again divide by 2, 2 4s are 8, remainder is 0. Once again divided by 2, 2 2s are 4, then remainder is 0. Then 2 1s are 2, remainder is 0. Now write, that is 1 0 0 0 0 0 1. This is the binary representation of character A. I repeat, this is the binary representation of character A. So in machine language, whatever the input, that is converted into the binary form. So here I have taken the example character A. Then what is the value for character A? It is 65. Then I'm going to convert this 65 into binary representation. So in machine language, it is mainly based on the zeros and ones. That means machine language is going to understand only binary data. So whatever the data or information or image, text, whatever we have, that must be converted into binary data. Whatever the data or instruction or information we have, that must be converted into binary form. So here machine language is the fundamental language of computer system. I repeat here, the machine language is the fundamental language of computer system. It is written by using binary numbers, that is zeros and ones. A program written in machine language is also called machine code. The instruction provided in machine language are directly understood by the computer. So the converted into electronic signal to run the computer. I repeat, whatever the instruction we are going to provide to our computer system, okay, that is in the form of zeros and ones, so the machine or computer system can easily understand zeros and ones, and that zeros and ones are converted into the electronic signal to run your computer system. So the instruction given in the machine languages includes two parts, that is opcode and operand. So here opcode is nothing but the operation code, where operand is address or location. I repeat, here whatever the instruction we are going to provide in our computer system, that must include two parts, that is opcode and operand. So here opcode is nothing but the operation code, that means some of the predefined operation codes, whereas operand is nothing but the address or location. So example for opcode here is move, add, sub, divide. These are the example for opcode. Then operand may be a address or location. The first 4 bit represents opcode, denoting operations such as load, move, store, etc. That means the first 4 bits are reserved for opcode. The last 4 bits are used to define or denote operand. Then what is the advantages of machine language? That is, it helps the programmer to execute the programs faster than high-level programming language. I repeat, what's the advantage of machine language here? The execution speed is high compared to high-level programming language, because here we are not required any translator to translate your instruction to one language to another. So here machine languages execution speed is high comparatively high-level programming language. Then moving further, we are going to get assembly level language. So the assembly level language is a low-level programming language that allows the user to write programs using letters, words, symbols called mnemonics. I repeat, the assembly level language is the example for your low-level programming language, and the assembly level language uses some letters and words and symbols, that is itself called mnemonics. So instead of the binary digit used in the machine level language. So here machine level language consists of binary and hexadecimal numbers, and it is mainly used to communicate with computer hardware. So this assembly level language is mainly used to convert high level language into machine level language. So here instructions or programs are written by using mnemonics. Here we know that the machine level language is capable to understand only in binary data, but in assembly level language we are going to use mnemonics. So example for mnemonics are move, add, subtract. Then we have divide, then we have multiplication, MUL, then we have store, then we have load. These are the some of the examples for mnemonics. So, a program written in the assembly level language is called assembly code. I repeat, a program written by using assembly level language is called assembly code. So, to run assembly code, we required assembler. Then what is the job of the assembler? That is used to convert assembly level language into machine code. So, the translator program that converts assembly code into machine code is called assembler. That means here we want to translate our assembly level program into machine understandable form. That means the assembly level language uses mnemonics, but mnemonics are not understood by the computer system. So what we want to do? We want to convert our mnemonics into machine code. That is done by using assembler. So that is the job of the assembler. So here assembly language, in short it is called ASM, is also a type of low level programming language that is designed for specific purpose. That means here the assembly level languages are used to design some program or instruction that is responsible for performing some specific task. It represents the set of instruction in a symbolic and human understandable form. That means whatever the mnemonics we have, that is understandable by the human being, and it uses some symbolic name. So it uses an assembler to convert assembly level language into machine language. Then what is the advantage here? The advantages of assembly level language here is it requires very less memory to store the instruction, and it requires very less execution time to execute the programs. Moving further, we are going to get another type of programming language that is called high-level programming language. So here high-level programming language make use of English language. So the high-level language is written by using some of the English-like language, and it uses step-by-step procedure. So high-level programming language is user-friendly programming language. So here high-level programming language is also written HLL. That means high-level programming language, and designed for developing user-friendly software programs and websites. That means here high-level programming language is mainly used to design software programs and websites. So this programming language requires compiler and interpreter. I repeat, the high-level programming language make use of compiler and interpreter in order to translate the high-level language program into machine understandable code or object code. I repeat, this programming language requires a compiler or interpreter to translate the program into machine language. Then what is the main advantage here? That is, it is very easy to read, write and maintain high-level programming language. So here some of the examples for high-level programming languages are C, C++, Python, Java, etc. These are some of the examples for high-level programming language. I repeat, the high-level language uses simple English language, and it is user-friendly language. So it uses some step-by-step procedure to perform some specific task, and here it requires translator to translate high level language into machine level language. So in high level language we require translator to translate high level language into machine language. So the translators are compiler and interpreter. Moving on to the type of high level programming language, that is procedural oriented programming language, that is POP, and object oriented programming language, that is OOPS. Then we have natural language. That means the three type of programming languages are natural language, procedural programming language, and object oriented programming language. Let's see the difference between assembly level language and machine level language. So in assembly level language, the data can be represented with the help of mnemonics like move, add, sub, and end. So these are the symbolic representation. It is also called mnemonics. Whereas in the machine language, the data are represented by using binary form, that is zeros and ones, hexadecimal form, and octal and decimal form. Then the next difference of assembly level language is the assembly language is easy to understand by the human being as compared to machine language. That means here we are going to use some symbolic notation, so it can be understandable by the human being. In machine language that make use of binary data, so it is very difficult to understand by the human being. Then the next difference under assembly level language is modification and error fixing can be done in assembly language. That means it is very difficult to modify the data or program, and it is very difficult to fix the errors. In assembly level language, it is easy to memorize that assembly language because some alphabets and mnemonics are used. That means it is very easy to remember the codes which is written by using assembly level language, because here we are going to use some alphabets as well as mnemonics, that means symbols and mnemonics. Whereas in machine language it is very difficult to remember the program or code because all the programs or instructions are written by using binary format, that is zeros and ones. Then the next difference under assembly language is execution is slow compared to machine language, whereas in machine language the execution speed is high because here we does not require any translators like compiler and interpreter. Then the next difference under assembler is used as translator to convert mnemonics into machine understandable form. That means the assembler is mainly used to convert assembly language into machine language, whereas in machine language there is no need of a translator because the machine language is also understandable by the computer system. The next difference under assembly language is here assembly language is the machine dependent and it is not portable. That means whatever the assembly language we have, that is not portable and it is fully machine dependent. Whereas machine language machine language is fully hardware dependent. These are the some of the difference between assembly level language as well as machine level language. Moving further, that is high level programming language. We already discussed that a high level language make use of English like language. So here the high level programming languages are user friendly language, and here we are going to use translator to translate the high level programming language into machine level programs. That means we are going to use compiler or interpreter to convert high level programming language into some other programming language. Then the types of programming language we have POP, then we have OOPS, then we have natural language. That is procedural oriented programming language, object oriented programming language, and natural language. Let's see what is procedural oriented programming language. So this procedural oriented programming language is mainly based on the functions. Then what is function? Think that we have large and complex program. So it is very difficult to write large and complex program, and at the same time it is very difficult to fix the error, because the large and complex program includes large number of codes and complex codes. So what we are going to do? We are going to divide the large complex program into smaller subgroups, that is itself called functions. So here the procedural oriented programming language is mainly based on step by step instruction. So a procedural oriented programming language is derived from the structured programming language and based upon the procedure calls concept. Here procedure is nothing but your function, that is function in C program. So what is function in C program? A function is nothing but a small program or sub program, and each function contains 3 sections, that is function call, function definition, and function prototype. Same way in procedural oriented programming language, it is mainly based on the structured program. That means here we are going to divide the large complex programs into smaller subgroups or small subprogram. So it divides a program into a small procedure called routines or functions. So here the procedural oriented programming language is used by the software programmer to create programs. I repeat, this POP is used by the programmer to create software programs. The advantage of procedural oriented programming language is that it helps programmer to easily track the program flow, and code can be reused in different parts of the program. So here it is very easy to track the flow of your program, and it also supports reusability. That means wherever you want to use same block of code, then you can able to use same block of code again and again. So the code can be reused in different parts of the program. The best example here is C program function. For example, consider that you want to create a calculator. So what will do? You're going to write the function. So In calculator, we are going to provide 4 basic functions like add, that means I want to add numbers, then I want to subtract number, then I want to multiply number, then I want to divide the number. So what I will do, instead of writing same single program, retake. So instead of writing single code for this calculator, what I will do, I'm going to divide this single program into 4 different modules, and I'm going to write separate code for separate module. So for add function, I'm going to write addition operations, and for subtraction I'm going to write subtraction code, and for multiplication I'm going to write multiplication code, and I'm going to write code for division, and at the end I'm going to call these function inside my program. So this is the way you can able to subdivide your complex program into subprograms. Moving further, we are going to get object-oriented programming language. So here the object-oriented programming is also called OOPS language. So here it is mainly based on the real world entity. That means some of the real world entity may be a pen or pencil or car or bike. So these are the example for real world entity. So this programming language, the programs are divided into small parts called object. In object-oriented programming language, the programs are divided into smaller groups called objects. So in object-oriented programming language, we are mainly going to deal with objects and classes. So it is used to implement real-world entities like inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, etc. That means the OOPS are mainly used to implement the real world objects like inheritance, polymorphism and abstraction. So the object-oriented programming language is mainly based on the concept of reusability. That means wherever you want to use same code or program, then you can use object-oriented programming language. In the program, to make the program reusable and efficient and easy to use. So here we are going to use OOPS for the purpose of reusability and efficient and easy to use. Then the main advantages of object-oriented programming is that OOPS is faster and easy to execute, maintain, modify and as well as debug. That means whatever the program which is written by using object-oriented programming language, that is faster, easy to understand, easy to modify and easy to debug. Then example for object-oriented programming languages are C++, .NET, Java, Python, etc. These are some of the examples for object-oriented programming language. Moving further, we are going to get the difference between OOPS and POP. So OOPS, it is mainly based on the objects and class, that is mainly going to deal with real world objects, whereas POP, it is mainly based on the procedure. So what is the first difference? It is object oriented, then POP is structure oriented, that means function oriented. Then the programs are divided into objects. Here the programs are divided into functions. Then the POP uses bottom-up approach. Then here OOPS uses bottom-up approach, where POP uses top-down approach. So here OOPS uses inheritance property, but POP does not uses inheritance property. That means inheritance means what? It is reusability. Then OOPS uses access specifier, but in POP it does not uses access specifier. But in OOPS, encapsulation is used to hide the data. That means data encapsulations are supported in OOPS, whereas in POPs there is no data hiding. Then it is mainly based on the concept of virtual function, but in POP we are not going to get any virtual functions. Then example for OOPS is C++ and Java, whereas example for POP is C and Pascal. These are the some of the difference between OOPS and POP. Then moving further, the third type of high-level programming language is natural language. So the natural language is a part of human languages such as English. That means the natural language make use of human language like English. It may be Russian, German or Japanese. It is used by machine to understand, manipulate, interpret human language. I repeat, a natural language may be English, Japan or Russian. Okay, but here we are going to use this natural language that is used by the machine to understand, manipulate and interpret human language, and it is used by the developer to perform tasks such as translation, automatic summarization, etc. That means here the natural languages are used by the developer to perform some kinds of tasks like translation and automatic summarization. Then the main advantages of natural language is that it uses user to ask questions in any subject and directly responds with the main advantages of natural language here is it allows the user to ask the question and it is going to provide the response within a second. So this is the advantage of natural language. So natural language make use of human language. It is mainly used to translate. Then the third type of language here is middle level programming language. So here the middle level programming language lies between low level programming language and high level programming language. So here we know that the programming languages are classified into three types, that is high level, low level and middle level programming language. Here the middle level programming language lies between low level programming language and high level programming language. So it is also known as intermediate programming language and pseudo language. That means here the middle level programming language is also called intermediate programming language and it is also called pseudo programming language. A middle level programming language has some advantages, that are it supports the features of high level programming language. That means the middle level programming language supports some of the features of high level programming language, and it is user friendly programming language and it is closely related to the machine language as well as human language. I repeat, the middle level programming language make use of some of the features of high level programming language. It is a user friendly programming language and it is closer to low level, that is machine level language, and human language. So here middle level language, it uses some of the features of high level programming language, and it is user friendly programming language, and which is closely related to the machine language and human language. Let's see the difference between high level programming language and low level programming language. So here high level programming languages are user friendly programming language, whereas the low level languages are machine friendly language. Then the high level language is less memory efficient, whereas the low level language is high memory efficient. Then the high level programming language is easy to understand, whereas the low level language is very difficult to understand. Where the high level programming language is simple to debug, whereas the low level language is complex to debug. Where the high level language is simple to maintain, whereas the low level language is very difficult and complex to maintain. Then the high level language is portable, but whereas the low level language is non-portable. The high level language can run on any platform, that is platform independent, whereas the low level languages are machine dependent. The next difference under high level programming language is it needs compiler interpreter for translation, whereas low level language does not require any translator like compiler and interpreter. Then the high level programming languages are most widely used programming language, whereas the low level languages are not commonly used in nowadays. These are the some of the examples between high level programming language and low level programming language. Moving further, in my next session, I'm going to deal with virus. So dear students, in my today's session, we studied what is programming language and the types of programming language, that is high level programming language, low level programming language and middle level programming language. In low level programming language, we studied what is assembly level language and we studied machine level language. But under high level programming language, we studied procedural oriented programming language and object oriented programming language. Dear students, from the examination point of view, the programming concept, that is the programming languages, are very important topic. Thank you for watching my session. Let's meet in the next session. Until then, take care. Thank you.